News and events. I have set watchmen upon thy wall. I want to give all the honor, glory, and praises to YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, Bahasham, RAWACHAA, QADASH. Double honors to my elders at Great Millstone, taught me the truth through the Spirit. Single honor to the elect. Peace and blessings be to all the sincere men, women, and children that do consider 1/3. Shalom, shalom. News and prophecy. As we're constantly in this ministry defending the gospel, rightly dividing the word of truth, always remember that the spirit of Yahawashi is the spirit of prophecy. So we have to make sure that we're in our watchtower and looking at all of the events that are occurring. Can we cover them all? No. That's why the scripture says the labor is full. Oh no, the harvest is full, but the laborers are few. Forgive me. Right? So we're constantly laboring to cipher and filter through everything that's going on throughout the world. Now, in Sri Lanka, the president, forgive me for the enunciation, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, flees the country on military jet. Now, why did he do that? Over protests over the economic crisis. His family line has been ruling over in Sri Lanka for decades, and him departing, or his departure in that manner, including his, I think his brother, go to show you that that's the end of their dynasty. And Sri Lanka is like populated by 22 million people, right? And they got their independence from Britain around 1958, if I'm not mistaken, something to that extent, right? But nonetheless, though, they had an issue with that, and that's biblical prophecy as well. That's sedition. Let's get it. 2nd Esdras 15 and 16. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings, all right, which is your ruler, nor princes, in the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Side note too, there's also been video out of Hunter Biden weighing cocaine, if I'm not mistaken. All right, a couple of brothers had uploaded some information on that. So the people not regarding your king with Joe Biden reading literally everything that's on the teleprompter now. I mean, this place is just deteriorating. It's waxing worse and worse, but it's the best for us, right? Let me read that again. 2nd Esdras 15 and 16. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. And the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And you can see that they fled due to the course of the actions of the people. Right? So that's also a part of the news and events throughout the world. And this is something that's going to come to America soon as well. They keep feeding you these breads and circuses. They don't really want you to know what's going on. There's been a run on the money. A run on the bank in numerous countries. And it's happening here also in America. You don't even know it. In the next month and a half, this place is going to be in a very, very bad state. Understand? Segueing. Connecticut man tells 11-year-old boy, get the F out of my town, and shoves him off bike on video. This is like a 48-year-old Edomite looking man shoved an 11-year-old Jake off the bike. You know, what happened was, him and his friend accidentally bumped into him, and he, cursed him out. Seen him later on, and then pretty much approached him, and then he told him the same thing again and pushed him off the bike. Now, do you think he would have done that with a full-grown adult Judahite or Issacharite or Ephraimite or Zebulonite male? No, he would not have. But that right there just goes to show you, man, that Esau, whose blessing is the sword, and Esau, who has the perpetual hatred towards us, is still there. We're talking about. He's not even a teenager. He's like an adolescent, and you giving him beef. It's like, from what we hear, they're not even bothering you. It was accidental. But this is minute compared to what's really going on in the world. But that's something that needs to be spoken of. A grown man, Edomite man, who will be a so-called white man, Caucasian, shoving shoving an 11-year-old boy off a bike. This is 2022, people. This is Babylon the Great. This is America. This is another article. Detroit police looking for tips after video captures murder on the sidewalk in broad daylight. Now, there's also a video right here, which it's like 11 seconds long. I'm going to leave the link of all these articles in the description box. YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, that's how I remember. But he ran up on them from the back like a coward anyway. You already got a gun, coward. And then he shot on one of the individuals and he died. He was like a 40-year-old man, if I'm not mistaken. Right? But that's also a biblical curse too. Deuteronomy 28:54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother. Okay? And toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. Why do you think 80% of the children in our community, talking about Israelite community, so-called Negro Latinos and Native American community, 80% of our children are born out of wedlock? In other words, 9 times out of 10, the man not gonna stay around, because women, through sexual liberation in modern times, have reduced the value of the WAP, so to say, right? From, oh, you don't need commitment, or you don't need to marry me. You give me the tingles, you give me anxiety. So nonetheless, though, that's another story. So this right here goes to show you that we are in the curses. That we fit the curses of the Bible. So when everybody talking about God gonna save everybody, he love everybody, what does everybody else need to be saved from? We are still, listen, we still suffering. We're still displaying the trauma of post-slavery. Okay? You know how they have PTSD, right? We have post-traumatic slave syndrome. We suffering from that. No therapy after all of that degradation, all of that what's what I'm looking for? Condescending nature, the belittling, all of that, the inhumane acts towards us. There was no therapy for that. And then the curses on top of that. But no, lo and behold, though, this is also evil. This is Isaiah 51:20. Thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets. The man died on the street, right? Right? As a wild bull in a net. How the hell you going to tame a wild bull with a net, right? They are full of the fury of Yahawah, the rebuke of their God. So this is the rebuke of the Lord. This is that left-hand side of the Lord. Because it's like, I'm going to show you. I show you my right side. Well, let me show you my left side. You're going to be like, okay, at least we die. Salakia. Right? That's the mindset. And now another article, not too far from here in Tampa. A Florida man threatens black, I'm just reading verbatim, black landscaper with assault rifle for partially blocking his driveway. Segue over. And as you can see, you see Esau with his blessing. Let me read this caption really quick from Asia. Please post, share. This man pulled a gun out on my cousin and her father while they were working in his neighbor's yard. This is in Clearwater, Florida, not far from here in Tampa. I can get there in 20 minutes. The police department took my family's ID, but didn't take the guy's. He's a convicted felon, and cops did nothing. But it goes on to say that he may get some aggravated assault or some crazy junk like that, nonetheless though. But this goes to show you listen, this man is working. And they okay. I'm partially blocking. Forgive me. I apologize. Salakia. You want to come out with an assault rifle, right? And on the article said that Edomite became more irate when she started recording. I'm like, wow. Wait a minute. So you just like the police, but you're not the police. So y'all want to be wicked and show your true colors towards us, but then once we start to record you, you get mad, whether you're an officer or not. Because y'all know y'all doing freaking wrong. I had to say it. Like most modern women, they get mad at you when they wrong, but when they right, oh, they'll be calm, cool, collected, and they be so meticulous with their responses and how they execute. When they wrong, they start going left. They try to insult. Hey, Kevin Samuels said it best: shame, insult, guilt need to be right. Modern day Karens. Nonetheless, so let's continue on. Enough waffling. Enough waffling. This right here, man. This some bull jive. I'm sorry. Bullshit. Put me in a phone booth with him for 15 to 20 seconds, and I will do everything I can from what I was taught on how to defend myself. But I'm going on full offense. This man right here was a doctor who raped a woman during cesarean, carried out more attacks. I read the article, and I had to stop myself from squinting so hard from fury, because I would have probably produced a wrinkle on my face. This motherfucker here, man, needs to be dealt with expediently. This man had women highly sedated, meaning that he's an what they call it? Anesthesia. You know how you get anesthesia, right? I don't know what the title for him. Forgive me, that was terrible. And people who worked at the hospital, the workers, the employees, said that they were very curious on the dosage he was giving the women that was getting ready to give birth. So they started to secretly record him, and they seen this man doing all kind of nasty, wicked acts to these women. And they said the reason what made them want to start recording this fool, this sadistic F, is because the women were so unconscious that they couldn't even hold their baby after it was born. And lo and behold, this mother effer right here, right? This fool. But you know what, though? They said he gonna get, what, I guess 10, 15 years in Rio de Janeiro. This happened in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. But guess what? I don't care what, listen here, I don't care what race you are. You could be so-called white, black, Puerto Rican, Asian. You could be Elamite. You could be Ishmaelite, Edomite, Israelite, Hamite. You could be a Japhite. You could be any of those nations. When you in prison, it's two things you don't deal. It's two things that nobody. It's two things all prisoners in there, everybody in them jail cells agree with. You don't fuck with the women and children. This dude had the audacity to do this to a woman that was giving birth. Because in their mind, they're thinking like, yo, that could have been my niece. That could have been my auntie. Or yada, yada, yada. But it's all kind of heinous shit going on in this world. But the reason why I brought this up is to bring this out. Matthew 13 and 41 through 42. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and them which do iniquity, including this scum, including everything, the Jake that pulled the trigger, the Edomite that pushed the boy off the bike, the Edomite that came out with the assault rifle, all of that. And all you diplomats of a lot of these countries that bleed the commoners, the serf, the peasants that you look at, the jesters, as you squeeze all the life out of us, and then you go and get in your private jet and fly off when we come to the realization that you ain't shit. All that gonna be taken up out of the kingdom. Like Bob Marley say, we're gonna chase them out the earth. Right? Bald head. Okay? Forgive me, y'all. My singing was terrible, but I was in the spirit. I felt that one. Back to Matthew 13 to 41 through 42. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and them which do iniquity, and shall cast them into a furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. That's talking about the thermonuclear warheads, the arrows that shall be shot from one end of the earth to another. And I have an article on that. I wanted to include in this video, but I'm going to put into another video to go into the prophecies and the things that will happen concerning Russia's Satan II missile, which they keep telling the West, which primarily talking about America. You keep poking the bear I'm going to wake up out of hibernation, which I already did, but I'm really going to chase you for miles and miles, meaning intercontinental ballistic missiles, and tear you to pieces. So, that's why you have watchmen like us. I just did a video on Creflo Dollar talking about something. Oh, it was a misunderstanding. I misguided y'all with the types. You knew what the F you was doing getting all that money. Now other pastors mad at you. Why they mad at you? Because you effing up their money too. Come on, man. Stop playing. And then I upload another video where Bill Gates got all this dough, billions of dollars. His daughter dating an Israelite man, a Judahite man, so-called black man. I mean, think about the world we live in. I'm going to close out pretty soon. The two, quote-unquote, richest men in the world couldn't keep their woman. What the hell make you think you can please yours? Not saying that there's not a woman out in there who's not happy to be with a man that she with today, but how many traditional women you have living in these modern times? They have billions of dollars, people, and they couldn't even keep their woman happy. These are the signs of the news and events in the modern times, man. I must stay upon my watch, and I hope you do the same. I'm closing out. Isaiah 62, verse 6 through 12. I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. Ye that make mention of the Lord, YAHAWAH, keep not silence, which we not, and give him no rest till he establish, until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth. So we're not gonna give the Lord any rest. We're gonna continue to send Raphael to and fro throughout the earth, right? And give him no rest till he establishing, till he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth. So we're gonna stay on our watch until we have to stop. You dig? But nonetheless, though, with that being said, I pray you was edified and fed. Stay in the spirit. Don't fear it. Just endure it. Ask for forgiveness. Pray without ceasing. Stay humble. Remain diligent. MashaAllah. Shalom. And remember, if you believe and you doubting, stop letting your flesh override your spirit. Man, you supposed to feed the spirit and starve the flesh. Stop letting your flesh doubt. Don't worry about what man can do to you. Worry about what Yahawah will allow man to do to you. That's the difference. Because they can't act without Yahawah sanctioning it. Your faith will be tested. But don't doubt yourself, because you will fail it. Don't doubt the RAWACHAA QADASH, because you will fail it. Trust and believe. Shalom.